All right, hey, good afternoon, everybody. So, took a few days off, and I just want to say welcome to part 5 of our series. So, this is not a QA session. This is really part 5 of kind of what I want you guys to do and learn as we go through this next series. Part 5, I'll probably call something like, where are you? Where are you right now? What I really want to call it is you're being built, you're being lied to, you're being showed everything that's wrong about what being successful is. But I think I'll be politically correct and call this, where are you right now? So as I talk to you right now is Wednesday afternoon, and I'm just give you a quick health update. I actually am in the last few hours of a 3-day fast. I've never done that before, but my doctors and my nutritionist and my personal trainer all said I was kind of ready for it. So I've crashed through the 50 pounds of weight loss, and I'm really looking for another 30 or so. And they said the way to kickstart that back up is to do a 3-day fast. So that's what I've done. I feel better than I thought I would. I've never even considered a 3-day fast. It scared the hell out of me, to be honest with you. But I'm at the end of it. So if they sense any energy or if any edge to me, by the way, it's hard not to be too grumpy when I literally haven't eaten a bite of food since Sunday afternoon, and we're sitting here on Wednesday at 5:30. So I'll break the fast tonight at 9, or I'll break the fast tomorrow morning. But it's kind of good to be able to say I did it. I actually did it. I committed to it and did a 3-day fast. Pretty crazy. So I also had a pretty crazy weekend. I saw one of my best friends from college, Paul. I don't think he watches these videos, but if he does, Paul, thanks for the invite. He invited me out. He's from Denver, but he and I flew to Chicago, and then we drove to South Bend, Indiana, and we went to the Notre Dame cross country meet and the Invitational because his son was running in it. And then after that, we actually got back in the car and drove from South Bend, Indiana to Ann Arbor, Michigan. And on Saturday, we went to the Michigan game and watched them eke out a victory. God, the tailgating there is crazy. We got there maybe 7 in the morning, and half the tailgating field was full already. 10,000 people maybe. That, they call it the big house. 110,000 people sit in that stadium, and every seat was packed. It was crazy. That night we drove a little bit north of there and spent the night with some family, and then Sunday morning got up, drove to Detroit, and flew home. So that was kind of a whirlwind tour this weekend. But all right, let's see if I can do some of this without the glasses on. I can see the glare out there for you guys, so let's see if I can get rid of the glasses. So part 5, this is a journey, you guys, and we've talked about it's a journey to financial independence. It's a journey to, early retirement. And journey has 3 components, right? It's got a beginning, an end, and a roadmap. And so this video is about setting the journey's starting point. Where are we? Before we get started and waste a lot of time on roadmaps and how to do it and where we headed, let's figure out where are we right now. And that is going to be ugly. I suspect most of you, no matter how old you are or how much money you earn, are much closer to the beginning of the journey than you want to admit. I certainly was when I started talking like this. When I started my company, I didn't think it would take me 25 years. I didn't think, my goal was to be done and early, fired out, right? Financially independent, retire early. I thought I'd be fired out by 45, and it took me 10 extra years because I was an idiot. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know about these kind of series. I didn't have people like me counseling me. Not saying they weren't out there. I'm just saying I didn't have access to them. I didn't know about them. I didn't take advantage of them, however you want to say it. I'm not blaming anybody. But it took me 25 years. It took me 33 years from my college graduation until I sold my company. So 25 or 33 years. Either way you measure it, it's a long-ass time. It's a long journey. And you guys are at the beginning of it. So when I say let's figure out where you are, I mean financially. And this is ugly. This is not going to feel good. I mean, not that most of the assignments I give you, if you've done any of them, are not overly fun. But what we have to get down to now is how much money do you have working for you and not how much are you working for your money. So how much money do you have working for you? And in the vast majority of cases, you might actually be saying none. I have no money sitting out there working for me at this time. So I want to talk about some tools to help you start assessing that and fixing that. And it's really a series of 4 or 5 books. So what I'm going to do now, and I'll put them up on the screen too, is walk you through a series of five books that I would recommend you either read or listen to on Audible. I don't really care which, but you need this material. If you truly want to be retired, if you want to truly be independent, and not worry about money when you do, you need to head down the road that these books really teach us. All right, so book number 1, and I'm trying to do these in order. So you're going to hear authors' names a couple different times. The first book I recommend you read, if you really want to get your shit together financially at the personal level, is Dave Ramsey. And he's got this whole empire and a radio show and podcasts and all that. So it might be a little bit, hard to jump into that world. So I would say the entry point into Dave Ramsey's world is his book, Total Money Makeover. Read it, study it, know it, and really start to do what he recommends there. The second book I recommend is a guy named Chris Hogan. He wrote a book called Everyday Millionaire, and he talks about what you think a millionaire is and what we really are two completely different things. And how simple it is for you to become one, almost no matter what you're making. I know that doesn't make any sense, but please read those 2 books. If you only do 2 things from this video, please read Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover and read Chris Hogan's Everyday Millionaires. Okay? That's it. Now I'm going to keep going, but please do those 2 things. So the third book I would read is Thomas Stanley. It's a little bit older, but it's called The Million Next Door. Now, some of his references are older and might talk about a store that you maybe don't even know because you weren't old enough to shop at it. Don't let the examples mess up the message. So be mature enough to read the book and get what this guy is saying to you. All 3 of those books are on Audible, by the way, and that's how I've listened to them. I figure I'm on the other end of this journey, but I have listened to all 3, and I mean in the last 2 weeks. So the fourth one is a guy, he's one of us, Jonathan Turner, all right? So I read this book. He's on YouTube. He's one of the Street Speed 717 gang. Stop faking it, start making it. If you need to hear it from someone your age, if you need to hear it from a fellow millennial, read that. It's the same message, maybe said a little bit kinder, and maybe gives you a few more people to blame for why you are where you are. But it's essentially the same message. In the 5th book, I go back to Chris Hogan. Chris Hogan wrote Retire Inspired and teaches you some of the more basics about retirement vehicles. That's really it. Those are the 5 books. Those are how I would ask you to start your process. But again, in that order, right? Total Money Makeover, Everyday Millionaire, The Millionaire Next Door, Stop Faking It, Start Making It, Retire Inspired. So those are some real tools that I just beg you to start using. Change how you spend your day. Start reading books like this. So if you actually start doing this, if you start reading this stuff, if you start writing this stuff down, if you start doing what I'm asking you to do, to set the beginning point for the journey you're going to take together with me, you're going to find out some rough realities. And one of them is, and it's kind of emotional for me, is you are being lied to, you're being bilked, you're being sold a lie. And that is what do rich people, wealthy people really look like. And it is not what you see on YouTube. It is not what you're shown in your neighborhood or around you. Most people who appear rich and wealthy and successful it's a house of cards. It's going to burn down. Most people don't have the money they appear to have. The house is fully mortgaged, and there might be a second mortgage, and there might be a home equity loan on it. The furniture might be bought on total debt. They might put their vacations on credit cards. Their cars are leased or not a whole lot better, but financed. And so what you see driving around you and next door to you and when you visit homes is a total sham, and is burning lives down. And these people have nothing working for them. They are completely working for all of the things that they have. And I just can't tell you how toxic that is. And it might seem okay at 25 or 30 or even 35, but eventually it catches up with you and burns your life energy out. And I'm begging you to step away from what society is teaching us is okay, and that's everything on credit, everything mortgaged and loaned, and nothing but debt. Try to stay away from that view as you get ready to read some of these books and take this first step towards freedom. So, if you want to have a different life, you have to live differently. And I really also beg you to drop this mentality of I deserve it, or I've earned it, or I've seen other people and I deserve it too. And really get down to have you earned it? You don't deserve it. Nobody does, including me. And have you earned it? Is that true? That means you have money in the bank, making enough money to pay for it. So that's why we get down to this concept of how much money do you have out in the world earning money for you. And that is such a harsh concept, and it's harsh to say it. And if you don't have money making money for you, you're not going anywhere. And all you're doing is aging and getting older. That might sound really mean. I don't mean it to, but somebody needs to be honest with you and stop selling you things and start telling you to get some money, making money for you. And the sooner you do that, and the more you change your life to put more money away, instead of making payments, you're making payments to your money machine, the better you'll be. And I don't care if you're 20 or 60, if you're at zero, start. If you're starting at 50 or 60, you're not going to have the engine that a guy listening to me at 20 or 30 is going to have. The time value of compound interest is against you. I can't change that. None of us have time machines. We can't go backwards and fix bad mistakes. What we can do is sit here today. I mean today, like I always say in these videos, today, whatever day you're watching this, and stop making bad decisions and start making the ones that'll make your future better. So the best things you can do is take an inventory of your life. Take an inventory of your financial life. And for many of you, it's going to be butt ugly. I get it. There's nothing we can do about it. But ignoring it and not staring it in the face is certainly not the way to start getting to a life of freedom. So write it down. Put it on a sheet. It probably fit on one sheet of paper, okay? Where is your money? If you have money in a bank, in a checking account, in a savings account, if somebody gave you a certificate, a CD, whatever, put it on the list. If you owe money on a house, how much do you owe? If you owe money on a car, how much do you owe? If you owe money on 3 cars, write them all down. If you have a student loan, write it down. But on one sheet of paper, what does it look like and how ugly is it? And if you can take that first step, do that tonight. Push pause. Stop watching me and get on this. And if you would do 2 things from this video, it will start changing your life. 1 is take a financial inventory of your life. And 2, start reading something, period. Start reading something. But read Dave Ramsey's book and read Chris Hogan's book. If you just do those things, I think it'll be a successful video. All right, hopefully I've kept this fairly short. I don't know, I got to assemble all the pieces. But I'm going to shut up and get out of this video tonight and be done and get something up for you guys because I haven't posted in a few days. So this is part 5. I've got parts like 6, 7, and 8 written as well. So hopefully I'll get one a day up here for a while. I've got one Q&A I need to get up for you guys. So I'm going to keep moving this series forward. But my question to you as I roll out of this is, are you doing anything? God, I know I'm hammering on you, and I mean to with intent, that if you are just watching these videos and like as entertainment, and that's all you want out of life is being entertained, that's fine. But if you are looking to make change, real change in your life, And please start doing some of these things. Every one of my videos has some very, very simple things that you can begin to do to make next week, next month, next year better, and to change a very dreary outlook to one of financial success, as long as you can get a handle on the time frame required to do it. God, I hope these things help. I hope they land. I hope they're teaching you guys. Please continue to ask questions, and I'll be back with episode 6 and a Q&A session over the next few days. Thanks, everybody. Bye.